Hi, my name is Bethany. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. What's your name?
Rebecca?
All right. What brought you in today?
I'm just having a lot of doubts about college. It's kind of stressful.
Okay. What are some of the things that are stressing you the most about it?
Well, for one, it's not even really college. It's more trade school because what I want to go for it's carpentry and welding.
Okay.
And there aren't a lot of trade schools around Buffalo, and I just don't want to move out because that's more money I'll have to spend. But the thing is, not many people are willing to mentor new people, so I can't get experience, but no one will hire me without experience.
That seems to be a revolving problem within today's society. So what are some of the different things besides going online that you've done? You said that you were going to talk to other people and.
Well, I have emailed BOCES.
Okay.
And they have emailed me back, but there hasn't been a lot of communication, and I'm just worried that if I don't take the opportunity, there won't be another one like it. But I've called other places and done a lot of research, and no one's willing to give me experience.
That makes a lot of sense. So, in order to get this experience, have you thought of maybe other things? Is there anything in particular you're trying to do?
Well, I just really want to learn how to fix houses.
Mm-hmm.
So if something breaks in my house, I'll know how to repair it, and if my friends need help, I can help them out and have them be helped. I don't know how to.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I think that doing something like that would, be beneficial to not only you, but to them as well. So what I'm also hearing is that it's a little bit stressful for you, especially, you are a senior in high school, correct?
Yes.
So with it coming up on the end of your school year, your last year of high school, it's kind of putting more stress on you, I'm guessing?
Yes, because I don't want to graduate from high school and take a year off of college, because if I do that, I'm worried I'll never go. And I don't want to lose an opportunity that might be staring me in the face.
Right. Yeah, I noticed a lot of high schoolers feel that way, where if they take off, they're not going to want to go back. Right. So what are some of the things that you're doing to proactively, besides emailing, and how are you dealing with the stress of this problem?
Mainly talking to my friends and getting their opinions on it. It's just been helpful going back and forth with them.
And have they given you any suggestions? Have they given you opinions on what they think you should do?
They think it's a great idea that I want to go into carpentry and welding, especially since I'm a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't give me a lot of advice about where I should go because they have no interest in what I want to do. They do support me. They just personally don't have an interest in carpentry or welding.
Right. It's something that they might not have the experience or the knowledge of because it's not something they took interest in. So yeah, do you have any support from your family? Have you talked to anybody in that situation?
Well, I have talked to my dad because he used to be a welder, but he said he sadly agrees that not many people are willing to mentor, and that's hard to come by nowadays. But he has been trying to give me some contacts, and help me in that area. And my mom has been trying to help me figure out financial aid, but there aren't any scholarships available for what I want to do, and I'm not eligible for SAS or EOP.
And how is that affecting you in terms of, is it stressful? Is that something that you're handling?
I mean, yeah, it's very stressful because no matter what school I go to or what schooling I get, it's going to cost money.
Mm-hmm.
And without all that financial aid available towards me, it does limit my options. So that makes it even harder to find something that fits.
So, is there something you're actively doing to kind of combat that stress besides talking to your friends? Are you going out and doing stuff? Do you have a hobby that maybe occupies your time? Something to distract you from that stress?
I do read a lot, and that does really help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really it. I try and focus more on the school aspect of everything, and try and hold off on college as much as I can. But it's kind of hard not to think about it.
So, what in particular, are there any particular schools in, are there any specific schools that you have in mind that you're trying to get into? And if you don't find a school for that particular program, do you have maybe a backup school or a backup plan to make sure you're still being productive in a way?
I've been looking into a few apprenticeships, but I can't do anything for the union because I don't have any connections within the union.
Mm-hmm.
So that limits a lot of apprenticeships I may be able to get. But I have been also looking into ARC, which is a welding, not program, but not school.
Okay.
It's in West Seneca, I believe, and it does seem like a good option. I'm just trying to research it a bit more before I finally apply. But if that stuff doesn't work out for me, I have gotten into a few colleges, but not for what I want. It's mostly for engineering.
Okay. So in terms of, I remember you saying something about like experience and such like that. Are you looking into trying to get experience? It may not be in that particular field, but are you kind of looking for a job or something just to kind of put something on your resume to have on your paperwork?
Well, my school did get me an internship at Roswell Park with an engineer, but they did that to see if I wanted to be an engineer instead of a carpenter or a welder, and it just turned me off from the whole engineering aspect of it because all I was doing was sitting at a desk, and I just don't want to be doing that as a career. But I did volunteer for Habitats for Humanity over, I think, last summer, and I think that added to my interest with carpentry. So I've been thinking about volunteering with them a bit more to see if it's really what I want to do, but so far I have been sticking to it.
Okay, so just give me a little bit more intel, because I'm not that knowledgeable in that subject either. Just give me a little bit more intel on what specifically involving like carpentry and all of that other stuff you're looking into, like what interests you.
Well, carpentry is basically fixing up houses or structures and making sure they're able to last a while. And it could be anything from putting up walls to flooring and sometimes even putting up cabinets and stuff, like domestic things. It can be bigger, like bigger buildings, but that's getting more into construction or architecture. And I really like the idea of fixing up your own home. So
it seems like you're really interested in this type of field, that it makes you really happy, kind of being hands-on and hardworking and just keeping your hands busy and stuff like that. Is there any particular like emotional distress that it's putting on you? Is it hurting any of your relationships with anyone?
No, if anything, it's made them grow a bit stronger because people enjoy having a friend that can fix a house for them. Yeah, and it's actually, it relieves a lot of stress too, because as you said, I do like working with my hands, and it just keeps me busy, and it keeps my mind busy if I'm doing it.
So we actually only have about a minute left in this session, but it sounds to me that you're actually handling this kind of situation really well. It is putting some stress on you in terms of not being able to find experience to get into different positions, not being able to get an internship or an apprenticeship with certain people, maybe, and such like that. Uh, but in terms of support on that stress, you have your friends, and it sounds like your mom and dad are really trying to help you get into that field, knowing that that's something you love.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I had a pleasure talking to you, and I hope to see you again soon.
Yep.